Right, looks like we are live right now. Okay, guys, welcome back to Gem Crypto. The market is retracing a little bit, and then we're basically consolidating between the 112k to 115k, which is the zone that we drew in our last live stream. Well, I'm planning to do this live stream at least 3 times a week. I know I'm quite new to live stream on Gem Crypto on my channel. So there's still a lot of feedback I need from you guys. If there's anything you think you want to include in the show, just let me know by typing in the comment below. And also, do type in the chat as well, so I can know clearly about the audio and video and stuff. Well, so anyways, the market is a little bit bearish. So there's also the talk about recession. People are worried about if the US is in some financial distress that we didn't know of. So, well, because of that, I changed my scarf to red color because, if you've been watching my previous shows on this channel, I like to wear scarf and then I tie a knot and then, different design. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the chart. And then we're also going to look at some news because there's a lot going on. So Bitcoin right now is sitting at 114K. We drew this support area between 112 to 115. Right now, we're just consolidating within this box. So there's not much to do. It's a little bit boring. But I have to say, based on all these a little bit bearish news, Bitcoin is still holding so well. I'm pretty surprised. So yeah, I'm liking what I see. So yeah, the reason why Bitcoin is somewhat consolidating is, well, if you look at the previous history of, where's the chart again? Oh, there you go. August has always been a boring month or consolidating month. Like 7 months out of 11 months, we get a red column. You see this? So I'm not too surprised that in August, the whole month, we're going to chop around between this zone. Like the ideal case is we just chop around in the whole August. If not, the next major support that I saw, like if we break 112K, by the way, like Bitcoin is holding this 112K rather strong. The reason why we have 112K is because like once Bitcoin is dipping, it likes to go back to its previous all-time high, which is the one we saw in May, late May. So that's the case. Like that's what we saw on Saturday, and that just gets to show like TA is extremely useful when it comes to finding the support and the resistance and when you can get it in the market. So the ideal case is that throughout August, we just like stay within this range. If not, like the bearish case, we could drop to the previous, if we broke the previous all-time high, like 112K as support, then we could go back to 106K. This is another major level that I'm watching, because if you zoom out, you see Bitcoin keep testing this area. So here is acting as resistance for a few times. It was, again, the previous all-time high back in December. Is acting as resistance again. But like ever since May, we broke out and then it's acting a little bit of support here. And right now, if we go back down, it's possible that 106K will be our support line. But if Bitcoin ever drop to this zone, that's another major buy for me. And if you ask me if I'm like too bearish, like honestly speaking, I don't know why people on X are so scared of the market, because I like to zoom out and everything kind of aligned to what I initially expected, even in late 2024, because like I did some live streams with other channel and stuff. I talk about this this bull run as really expected. If you just go back to the weekly chart, right now I'm on log scale. I like to be on log scale because you can see exactly like how much percentage it rise and it kind of trim out the noise. So we're on a weekly chart. And if you go back to all the all-time highs, and if we pull up the regression band, so here's the regression band, you see Bitcoin is aligned to where it is. But there is a time that I'm being a little bit more cautious, because in general, what I did here, so I put like this vertical line on each of the top of the cycle. So back in 2013 November, and then another November 2017, and then 4 years later in November again. So if this time let's stretch it a little bit and go to November. If we go to November, if we get a top, then we could be reaching like close to 200,000. Like I'll be surprised if we don't see $2,000 BTC this year in 2025. But like usually, like after that, it will follow by like a dump after reaching cycle top. But again, it takes time because there are still months to come to reach this all-time high. Right now, we're just in the beginning of August. I agree that it looks like we are already in the middle of bull run. So there's still value to be extracted. There's still money to be made, because if you use where we are to, let's say, the top of the regression band, there's still like let's be cautious, like 200,000. So there's like 70%, something around that to be made. And usually for crypto cycle, it follows this pattern. So Bitcoin reached new all-time high, like got all the attention from people. That's how you attract attention from retails, especially. And then once retails are in, and by the way, like this cycle is so weird because the all-time high isn't triggered by retails, but mostly by institutions. That's why people say this cycle is different, but if you pull out the chart, it's actually not that different. So my plan is kind of unchanged, because I talked about this in 2024 that my plan is to take a little bit more profit, especially in Q4 2025 or Q1 2026. So I kind of like stick to it, but right now I'm leaning more towards Q1 2026. The reason why I will say this is because like I'm seeing a delay in the market these days. Like first of all, retails are practically not here, only institutions money coming in. And if we certainly getting a rate cut in September, which kind of looks like is the case. Because if you go to Fed Watch, wait one sec. If you go to the Fed Watch, the reason why we think that a rate cut is more likely right now is because the labor job market was so horrible, and Donald Trump was so mad that he even fired the head of the head of BLS. So if you look at the expectation for the Fed meeting, 85% of people are expecting a rate cut in September. And this was like a significant up compared to last time we saw. Because last time we checked this chart, I think it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And then the number, it was like 50% of people still expect the Fed remains where it was. But right now, because of the labor market looks so bad and people are talking about the recession again, so the rate cut seems likely in September. And everything kind of aligns to the chart as well. So if we let's say August is a boring month, so we just like chop around these area, and then we're gonna slowly go back in September, because like when there is a rate cut, that means easy money gonna flow in. Like I'm sure like a portion of that easy money gonna flow into so-called high risk asset. I don't think is high risk personally, maybe because I'm too biased, but definitely a portion of that money will flow into Bitcoin. So everything aligned, also aligned to the chart that I'm seeing since like a year ago. This is exactly what I expected as well. And in terms of Ethereum, it's also following that pattern, because usually Bitcoin gets traction. Next, we have Ethereum. It is getting the traction. Oh, hello. Hi, Dan. You should jump on the live stream sometime. Well, how can I show? Hello. Well, just talking about the chart. So, what I was saying, I was too excited. Well, you're seeing this play out in this cycle as well, but Ethereum is slowly getting the traction. But this key area, like 3,300, I'm watching closely. And again, we are on the weekly chart. And every single time we reach this area, we get rejected. So hopefully August, as I said before when I opened the show, August is still going to be, looks like it's a boring month for us to consolidate and chop around this region. And I think it's going to be the same case for Ethereum. So 3,800 is gonna still act more like a resistance. So I'm watching this level carefully. But what I like about this chart is that Ethereum went to the regression band. This is like a bullish sign. That means Ethereum has already bottomed for sure. Right now we are at the Ethereum season. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna see some bounce back in weeks to come. But if you also hop onto the ETH BTC chart, like Ethereum is holding rather well, and it's holding this support like against BTC at 0.029, like surprisingly well. Well, not surprisingly, because like we know for sure this is like Ethereum time to shine. Like finally Ethereum time to shine. So yeah, we are holding at 0.031. That means like the reason why we have to look this pairing is because, okay, Ethereum is rising its value against BTC. Right now, you might as well to like swap your BTC into ETH instead of just holding BTC. Like I like both. That's why I hold both. But like looking like from a TA perspective, looks like ETH is rising its value against BTC. And that's looking really well. But okay, so that's for the chart that we looked at. Let's also go back to the reason why we are seeing such a huge, like not huge dump, but like a little correction. People are making a fuss about this, especially on X. That's interesting. But anyhow, let's hop back into some bearish news that I'm spotting in the market. Like sometimes market trades so randomly, but people like to put a reasons for why market is moving a certain direction. So one of the bearish news that I saw is none other than the Bitcoin ETF outflow. So if you look at the Bitcoin ETF spots, you look at this column, there's like 4 consecutive days of outflow for Bitcoin. So billions of dollars being withdrawn to somewhere else. And of course, Fidelity and IBIT being hit the most. And if you also look at Ethereum took an even bigger hit. Like, can I zoom closer? Because you guys commented last time that my screen is a little bit too small. Let me know if it's working out for you now. All right, so ETFs got hit pretty bad as well. There's an outflow of, right now we're in ETH. So there's like 170,000 Ethereum outflow. And this is like record high for a single day outflow ever since ETH spot ETF being launched. So together, like BTC ETF and then ETH ETF, there's a combined outflow close to $2 billion. So what caused this sell-off? Like people are like losing hope over this, calling is another early sign of recession. Well, there are, it's hard to see the screen. Well, how about this? Like, how about now? Like if I zoom even closer, is that okay? Let me know if it helps. All right, so there are different factors that cause this sell-off, right? Change the perspective. You can zoom closer. Wait, how about now? Does it help? Let me know, chat. All right, so I was saying that there's short-term factors that cause the sell-off. Like these things, like when Bitcoin moves, let's go back to the chart, because Bitcoin reached all-time high of 123,000. Like it makes sense for institutions or even like regular people like you and me to take a little bit of profit off the table. And I encourage people to take profit, like when we are going up on a rally, because that's the strategy that I've been using, and it kind of saved me from a lot of these disasters before. So this is extremely normal. Like institutions are just de-risking and allocating to other assets. Maybe they're just holding cash. Another reason why there is like a little fear in the market is because of the Fed. Like, well, the labor market was so bad that Donald Trump had to fire the head of BLS. I think that was like a little bit extreme. But again, I'm not American, so I'm not here to judge, but it is what it is. So the labor market was signaling early sign of recession because the unemployment rate is 4.2%. And then one early sign that we could use, whether like a metric, whether we are at recession or not, is if the unemployment rate reached 4.4%. And we are close enough. So that's why people are so worried. And looks like the Fed gonna cut the interest rate. And another reason why there's such a huge outflow for the spot ETF is tariffs. We're gonna get into the tariffs news a little bit more in a bit, but like basically the market is full of uncertainty and there's like so much noise going on. So having this like a little sell off, it makes sense. And as at the same time, it's holiday season. Usually holiday season, people like to take some profit off the table because they're not trading as much. So everything aligns. So institutions taking profit because it was at all-time high, like $1,000-3,000. So what you expect? And then there's so much noise, like tariffs, fear of recession and stuff. So yeah, and then combined with what we talk about, wait, why is it so difficult? Like, okay, August is always like a slow month consolidation period. So everything aligned is just following what it does in a pattern. And personally, I'm not so concerned about people rotating out. It's just like following what it has been done for months. So yeah, so that's for the market update. Let's move on to the news section. So there's this news from Coinbase that I saw just today because they're raising $2 billion convertible debt. So what is going on? Like, first of all, this reminds me that I haven't talked about the quarterly earning last time, because the quarterly earning was out 3 days ago, last week, and then people were so disappointed with the quarterly earning because the revenue went down. And then just days after this quarterly earning, here comes another news that Coinbase is raising $2 billion through convertible debt. So what's going on? I'm here to give you some context. So here's Coinbase stock. So it rose to like new all-time high 420, and then there's like a huge sell-off ever since July. And it kind of aligned with the crypto market as well, but like more than 25% sell-off. It's going to scare a little bit of people. So no, so I'm not like too surprised there, but like I would like to dive into the financials of Coinbase a little bit more, like why people are so disappointed with the quarterly earning. Like, first of all, like last quarter, we have like $1.5 billion revenue. It was like a drastic down, like significantly down from the previous quarter of $2 billion. So it's down 26% from last quarter. That's why people are really not happy. And if you also scroll down, the net income is $1.4 billion. Like, it looks like, oh, it's doing well from its previous quarter, right? But if you actually look into the details, the reason why the net income is up so much is because of the crypto appreciation. So BTC and ETH rose a lot in value. That's why you see this this significant gain. But if you adjust the real profit, it's only like $33 million. So you guys probably can see better. Well, I'm zooming closer, see if it helps. Yeah, so revenue, and then we talk about the net income, 1.4 billion, and adjusted net income is only $33 million. So that is like, I wouldn't call it a miss, but like people are really not happy. And then straight off the bat, the stock dropped. Where's the stock price? There you go. The stock dropped like 15% or 17% after the earnings. That's how mad people are. And there are like several negative points why Coinbase is not doing so well. So first of all, it's about the total trading volume. It declined by 40% in second quarter, with consumer spot trading volume down 45%. And also the company faced like a hack or something, like a 300 million expense due to some data theft. So that's a significant operating cost as well. Institutional trading volume is also down by 38%. And then crypto asset volatility declined by 16%. There's also other areas that is causing a lot of money, because I believe just like a few weeks ago, Coinbase got the license from EU, so Europe, this MiCA license or something. But like, it is a good news, but at the same time, having a license in the EU is going to cost a lot of money. So that's why, yeah, the revenue is a miss and it's not doing so well. But at the same time, there's still some bright side of Coinbase. Like, first of all, the stable coin business like USDC is still growing significantly. And then another positive, like bright side I see in Coinbase is the base chain. So the layer 2 chain is processing billions of dollars. And then there's also like non-trading revenue. So it's not just like retail trading or institutional spot trading. They have like other revenue like subscriptions and custody fees. Those are also up 20% year over year. So yeah, it's a little bit of mix. Like, of course, there's like some negative stuff, negative points, like the trading volume being down, but it's kind of aligned with the general crypto market as a whole anyway, right? Because like if Bitcoin is retracing, having a correction, I assume Coinbase is gonna follow. So personally, I'm not like too worried. But let's go back to the news that came out literally just like today. So Coinbase is raising $2 billion through convertible debt. So, well, what the hell is this? Well, well, some people didn't know about convertible debt, but like it's basically the same play as MicroStrategy. So they announced 2 billion private offering of convertible debt, 1 billion in notes due in 2029, another billion due in 2032. And then, but I think they have like really low interest or something. I'm not sure if they say, okay, maybe I saw it somewhere else. They have like really low, like 0.5 interest, and some of them, they have like 0 interest. But what is the context? So first of all, convertible debt is a little bit like equity and a little bit like debt. The reason why I say this because it's the same play for MSTL. The reason why MicroStrategy can buy so much BTC on the holdings and turn it into a treasury company is through this method, this strategy. So MicroStrategy is selling the convertible debts, and investors would buy as if it was debt on day one. But the play for MSTL is that they have extremely low interest. Some of them have 0 interest. So MicroStrategy is printing this like money out of thin air. What the investors got in return is that on the maturity date, if the stocks rose higher than the debt, than the share value of MSTL, then most of this investors going to convert that into the shares instead. So this is what Coinbase is doing. Same method as MicroStrategy. It's that at first, but if Coinbase stock goes way up, the bondholders can convert it into shares. So think of it like a loan plus stock option combined. But the plus side is that Coinbase is actually paying no interest. So 0 interest, it doesn't pay any regular coupon, super cheap debt. And then the details is, well, maybe I saw it somewhere. Well, so the details is that around $454 to $480 per share. But right now, if you look at the stock price, it's only like $300. So if upon the maturity date, Coinbase rise like to like a 400 something dollars per share on the convert price, and people just going to convert the debt into shares. So people are asking why they have to raise so much money, like $2 billion. Where is the money going, right? Well, it's actually a combination of things. They haven't listed the exact dollar amounts, like it's 2 billion, but where does it go? But they say that some of this money, first of all, is going to go to stock purchase, like stock buyback. Like some of them going to purchase coin shares, especially after such a dip post earnings. So this supports the price and boosts the EPS. And then the second reason is to pay some of the old debt. Yeah, like companies do that, like raising new debt to pay the previous debt. That's called like some leverage strategy. Leverage buyback strategy. So Coinbase had like $3.4 billion in debt, and using like this 2 billion being raised, Coinbase gonna pay a little bit of that interest. So reduce that interest burden. And then that reason why they have to raise so much money is to buy other firms, like acquisitions, maybe more to come. We're still waiting for the details. And then some other reason is to reduce dilution. Like they're spending like 194 millions to hedge against too much stock dilution later if bonds get converted. So is this like risky? People are asking. Well, personally, I think they are just doing what MSTL has been doing. They're using extremely cheap debt to buy back shares. If stock goes up, like bondholders going to convert, and then Coinbase issues more shares. So there's going to be future dilution. So that's maybe a potential risk to look for. But personally, I think they managed the risk quite well because, like, at the end of the day, it matured in 2029 and 2032. They have zero interest to pay, just like MSTL. And MSTL, when they started out, they have been through the whole bear market in 2022. I remember MSTL even raised some funds from borrow funds from Silvergate. So that's even more risky play compared to convertible debt, in my opinion. Like if they are raising this debt with zero interest, then they don't have the obligation to pay, like, I don't know, like quarterly or annually to this like bondholder. So that's another risk being eliminated in terms of like whether the stock gonna rise to that level, because we are right now still in 2025. So if it matures in 2029, so there's like still 4 years to come. Like some people say, okay, what if there's like a bear market? Well, bear market usually lasts like 2 years or a little bit over 2 years, maybe like 3 years. I'm sure they can like come up with ways to go around because like that's what MSTL did as well. So personally, I'm not like too concerned about this, or maybe some people are calling a bubble to pop. Personally, I'm not too concerned about Coinbase because they have actual revenue coming in. They have a solid business, unlike some other treasury company. Some Bitcoin treasury companies, they are just like blindly following copycats of MSTL. They are classic zombie companies because if you look at the EBIT, earning before interest and tax, they are negative and they have like interest on debt to pay, yet they're getting into Ethereum or Bitcoin. So these unhealthy companies getting into the market is not what I want to see. But like Coinbase, personally, I think it's fine. And I personally, I haven't bought the dip because again, I got into Coinbase really early, like 2023, and then I DCA a little bit in as well, around like $120 or something. So yeah, I'm still long-term bullish Coinbase. I haven't sold that yet. I'm still watching because it looks like it's just following what the whole general crypto market, like general crypto cycle. Like August is retracing, consolidating, so is Coinbase. So that's my personal take. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, Alpha Drop. Hello. How are you doing? Are you still watching? You want to jump on the stream sometime? Well, I'll show. Right, there you go. Well, the chat is so active today. I'm liking it. All right, so let's move on to tariffs. Because tariffs is really hitting up, especially in the second term of Donald Trump compared to the first one. Like, he's really taking this tariffs very seriously. So on 7th of August, there's this new reciprocal tariffs. Can I zoom? Okay, there you go. Okay, there's this reciprocal tariffs that will take into effect. There will be a 10% base tariff on nearly all imports. And then there are 41% tariffs for countries with bigger trades with the United States, like bigger trade surplus and stuff. But like there are dozens of countries with specific. Oh, you like my scarf? Thank you. Oh, let's go back to the news. Well, there's like specific countries with different deals with the US, like Canada and Mexico per se. They have 35% tariff tax. For EU's 20%, Japan, South Korea 25%, Taiwan 32%, China initially 10%, but right now it could go up to 125% or more if a deal isn't reached by 12th of August. Because like the rest of the countries is important, but like we are watching the tariff deals between China and US because that is like the most important. So there's so much aggressive trade policies in the US. Is like the most aggressive trade policy in the US history. So yeah, what's going on with China? China is fighting back. So to give you guys a little context about that Xi Jinping. All right, so to give you guys a little bit of context, on 31st of July, they raised tariffs by 34%, and they also threatened like up to 250% tariffs on US goods, like semiconductors and stuff. And Donald Trump is, of course, really mad about this because Donald Trump is saying that China keeps buying oil from Russia and Iran, which kind of helps to fund the war in Ukraine and the Middle East. So he's demanding China to stop these purchases, or even like Donald Trump threatened there will be like a higher tariffs on China, right? But China basically said, "Nah, we're not gonna listen to you." Yeah, China is giving a finger to the US. But like why let's go back to how this affect the economy or even Bitcoin as a whole. So this chaos, this back and forth is creating so much noise in the market. Like for businesses or households, like long-term wise, I still think tariffs gonna bring some inflation. I think there's no argument that import prices are rising, supply chains are disrupted, like companies are pulling back on spending. And for market wise, like stocks are dropping on this like new threat. Like, oh, by the way, like this is another reason why you see this like sell off today. Let's go back to the tariffs. All right, so stocks and crypto dipping. Like economic growth is slowing down as well. I looked at the GDP. So quarter one 2025, it was a negative number of minus 0.5%. And then this quarter we went up, so 3%. That is a positive number. But like technically speaking, if there are two consecutive quarters with a negative number, we are in recession. But like they, how the governments, they like to change the definition of things. So I won't be surprised to see there's like they're gonna play with the words again. But point being, like the uncertainty is rising. So yeah, what about Bitcoin? Bitcoin's response a little bit a mix, because short-term wise, Bitcoin acts like a risk asset. Like when there's like uncertainty or fear rise, it drops. Because like if you go back to April, like somewhere around this, like April, there was like this tariffs announcements, and then Bitcoin dropped to 54K, something around that because of that. And then so as on 1st of August, Bitcoin fell below 112K after like the more tariffs, and then there's some liquidations as well. So these are the short-term risks, but long-term wise, tariffs, we know that it's going to cause inflation. And people, when they see the value of the money can buy them less things, they're going to look for other alternatives or even hedge. So inflation is always good for Bitcoin because people want to get out of the dollars to buy something else. And they saw Bitcoin has this like insane return, despite right now it's maturing so much. So a portion of that money will definitely go to Bitcoin and everything in line. Because if we have a cut in September, like a rate cut, gonna trigger that liquidity again. So Bitcoin becomes like attractive again. And in the past, whenever there's like I don't know, like war and stuff, like initial reaction for Bitcoin is that there's a dip, but like Bitcoin usually bounce back rather quickly because it acts as the digital gold. So long term wise, I'm still bullish. And if we go back to the logarithmic chart, so it's on log right now, it's on weekly chart. So there's still like months to achieve that new all-time high. I'm eyeing December or January of 2026 for Bitcoin cycle top. So yeah, everything aligned. If there's like a September rate cut, a portion of money going to flow in, going to help push Bitcoin towards the all-time high on this chart. So yeah, there's some critical dates to watch. So on 7th of August, which is tomorrow, like US tariffs go live. And then on 12th of August, China decides if they want to hike the tariffs to 125% or sometimes even beyond. Like we're still seeing, we're still waiting for more information. Social media is a little bit split. Like some people are panicking, but some people are saying that we have seen this before. But like nevertheless, as I mentioned when I opened the show, like August is going to be like consolidating and chop around. So yeah, that's all I want to cover in this stream. Like I've been talking so much. My mouth a little dry. Oh, Alma drop. Can we see your puppy Milky on camera? Oh, you want to see Milky? One sec. Let me grab Milky. There you go. That's Milky. Say hi to the camera. That's my community. Say hi. Yeah, Milky. Yeah, anyways, before we close this show, I'm saying that today is Wednesday, so I usually record a show, like a Bitcoin show with the Bitcoin Libertarian. If you haven't followed the account, go follow him on X. I usually record a Bitcoin show, like an episode with him on Tuesday, which I did yesterday. And then we're going to release it on Wednesday. So, on Wednesday. So make sure you follow him. And also make sure to follow me on my YouTube as well, because like, I don't always have the time to make, like on YouTube, well, because we are at the resistance of 18,000 subscribers. So make sure to give me some support and follow me there. Yeah, you just launched 5 Milky meme coins. I like that. Send me the link. I'm gonna look for it. Yeah, make sure to follow me on my YouTube channel as well, because I'm experiencing this like 18,000 resistance. Hopefully I can get past that, reach that 20K target sooner, hopefully in this cycle. All right, so follow me on YouTube, on X. Do follow me on X because I don't always have the time to make videos like live stream like this. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this stream. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any feedback about the show, how I can improve that, and I'll do that next